Okay, Miami, this is just pathetic. You guys are an absolute joke. My God, you guys are horrible. This Central Michigan's actually been decent, so I'll give you that, almost losing to Central Michigan. But you lost to Georgia Tech! And Georgia Tech was on pace to go 1-11 before this game. And you find a way to lose to them. Not even lying, I actually picked Georgia Tech to win this game. And they did. But God, Miami, you just downgraded to a tropical depression. Miami is the joke of the ACC now. It is hands down the Miami Hurricanes. They are the worst team in the ACC. I tried telling their fans this all offseason. You're not a good team. You're not. On paper, you're one of the worst teams in ACC football. You got a bad coach and you've got a bad team. Face it. You're not a good football team at all. You're going to get destroyed by your rivals. You're going to get destroyed by Florida State. Turns out, we didn't think you'd be worse than this. I was generous. I had you going 5-7. Now you're going like 3-9. You're literally going to lose to FIU. You're not beating Louisville and Duke. No way. You're legit going 4-8 this year. You're legit going to go 3-9 or 4-8. This is going to be your worst team you've ever had. And Miami, you should blame your coach again when really your team's just bad. Your team is just bad. You're not a good football team. You're definitely not a good program at all. In fact, you're a decent program, but you're not a great program. You're not a good program. You're especially not a great program either. And you lost to Georgia Tech, who was on pace to go 1-11. It would be like the worst team in the ACC, and you lose to them. And they're still trying to run the football like they did in the triple option under Paul Johnson. Holy Jesus, is this team horrible. This team is absolutely god-awful. I don't know how this team managed to get even worse than they did last year. How does a team get even worse year after year? Miami Hurricanes are the prime example of how not to rebuild a football team right. They are thinking this is still the 80s. And they're just blaming the coaching staff. Miami fans are thinking this is still the 80s. This is the darkest time we've ever seen from the Hurricanes. In fact, this is the worst Hurricanes team ever. You Hurricane fans, I clowned you all off season. I legit clowned you for starting Jared Williams. He is overrated. And Kosi Perry's not any better. You should have started Tate Martell. Tate should get the starting job. Because, like I said, Jared Williams is not a good quarterback. He's making lucky throws that no freshman makes. And Miami fans praise him like he's the next coming of Jesus. He is the most overrated quarterback I've seen. Miami's the worst team in ACC football as, once again, they lost to Georgia Tech. They lost to Georgia Tech, a team that got beat by the Citadel, and whose only win was frickin' South Florida entering this game. You're a disaster now. Miami's a train wreck. They are not a good football team, and that's going to do it.